Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Tech Beans. Today, we're going to be comparing the VIVO S1 Pro to the OPPO A9 2020. Now, both these phones have the same price, 15,990 pesos. But the thing is, they don't have the same specs. And get this, one of them has way better specs than the other. But which one is that phone? We're gonna find out in this video right now. And as always in my comparisons, we're gonna be comparing their designs, their displays, their performance, and things like that. And also the cameras. All the necessary things that you need to know on which one to go for. So, without further ado, let the battle begin.
No.
Alright, starting off with the design. Now first and foremost, both these guys have glass backs. They're not only premium looking, but they're also premium feeling. Did I say that right? But yeah, the OPPO A9 has that OPPO Reno look to it. Just a slight variance from the OPPO Reno, but still, it is a very gorgeous design. Just look at that color. This is actually a trend this year. A lot of the phones that I've reviewed so far this year actually carry this kind of design or color, and it actually works. A lot of people are digging it. Now the VIVO S1 Pro is kind of unique. It has that diamond camera back right there, plus the shape of the phone, plus the whole look and feel of the phone. As you can see right there, it just looks so expensive. But it's not. It's only 15,990 pesos, and it's actually a bargain for what it is right now. The VIVO S1 Pro is a little bit smaller than the OPPO A9 2020. This is a big, chunky phone, although kinda sexy. But I just think that the VIVO S1 Pro just looks a tad more premium than the OPPO phone. But yeah, it's just a preference, don't worry about it. And of course, since it's 2019, they all carry 2019 technology, which is USB Type-C ports, headphone jacks, notch displays, and elegant back designs. Now just like what I told you, the VIVO S1 Pro is a little bit smaller than the OPPO A9 2020, which means it's a lot more compact, and if you're digging a smaller phone, then this is your phone. But if you're digging a much bigger phone, then you should go for the OPPO A9. Oh, by the way, the OPPO A9 has a 6.5-inch, that's big, 720p display, and it's only IPS LCD, so yeah, the VIVO S1 Pro is Super AMOLED and 1080p. Oh my god, the VIVO S1 Pro just beats out the OPPO A9 in pretty much every way in terms of the display, and that's actually a big deal, like a really big deal, because the display is actually one of the most important components of a smartphone. It's where you're actually gonna look the longest. You're gonna look at your phone all day long, and if I compare them side by side, the VIVO S1 Pro is gonna be a lot more vibrant, a lot more colorful, and overall just looks better. On the OPPO A9, playing games on this thing is not gonna be as good as the VIVO S1 Pro, although it is pretty decent. And the screen is bigger, but as you can see, the chin is quite big. But let's just face it, an AMOLED display will just make things a lot more exciting to look at. And as you can see right here, the colors are just a little bit washed out. They're not really full looking, and it's just making the graphics look not that good. And yeah, it's only 720p, so when you're gonna do some YouTube on this, it's only gonna max out at 720p. And coming to the VIVO S1 Pro, as you can see, the colors are just much better. Everything just looks a lot more balanced. And like what I always tell you on my videos, a combination of a Snapdragon processor plus a Super AMOLED display is equal to a great viewing experience. The graphics can be so crisp. Just look at that graphics, guys. It's just so much better than what you're gonna see on the OPPO A9. Plus, it's also 1080p. How awesome is that? And as you can see, the display is also better in bezels and in form factor. Chin is not so thick, and even at the notched area. So yeah, I'm actually sold with the Super AMOLED display. I mean, it's one of the most affordable phones you can get with a Super AMOLED display. Did you know that? Vivo actually did a great job with the VIVO S1 Pro, and it even ranked up high in my top 10 smartphones for 2019. Mobile Legends wise or PUBG, they're pretty much the same. Well, that's because they have the same processor, Snapdragon 665. And oh, by the way, both do have 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of internal storage, so there's no actual difference in the RAM and ROM. But like I told you, playing games on the VIVO S1 Pro is just much better compared to the OPPO A9 2020. As you can see right here on PUBG, they're technically pumping out the same amount of power, but then since the VIVO S1 Pro has a Super AMOLED display, everything just looks much better on the VIVO S1 Pro. And yes, did I just tell you that Vivo is actually in partnership with PUBG, so that means most Vivo phones are gonna get the best and latest updates on PUBG, that's for sure. Oh, I forgot to mention, the VIVO S1 Pro has a single nano SIM card slot plus a hybrid one, but the OPPO A9 has a complete SIM slot. As you can see, dual nano SIM cards cards plus a dedicated one for microSD. And I also forgot about this. The OPPO A9 has a physical fingerprint scanner at the back, while the VIVO S1 PRO does not have that because it is already using an in-display fingerprint scanner, which totally means that the VIVO S1 PRO is already categorized as a much more premium device just with the specs alone. And as you're seeing right now, with the same price, it's not even close. The VIVO S1 PRO is just demolishing the OPPO A9 2020. And coming to the cameras, both these phones have 48MP cameras, very powerful cameras, but the big advantage of the VIVO S1 PRO is that it has a macro lens. So yeah, for all you macro photographers out there, the VIVO S1 PRO has that. Now here's where things get interesting, the actual pictures. As you can see, both phones don't look alike, even though they have the same megapixel count. As you can see, the VIVO S1 PRO is just a tad more sharper, producing a lot more detail, and overall just looks a lot more better than the OPPO A9's pictures. Although the VIVO S1 PRO does have a warmer profile, the picture looks warm, but it's okay, it just looks a lot more pleasing to the eye compared to the OPPO A9. Color and contrast wise, the VIVO S1 PRO overall is just much better. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a lot more likes on the VIVO S1 PRO compared to the OPPO A9. I don't know, the OPPO A9's colors are just not that punchy enough, or it's just lacking in overall presence. The pictures on the VIVO S1 PRO is just a lot more livelier, cleaner to look at, and as you can see, the HDR on the VIVO S1 PRO just beats out the OPPO A9 2020 by a mile. There's just a lot more clarity in landscape shots. As you can see right here, the clouds just look a lot more cleaner, and the skies much bluer. It's not even a contest. And I'm not sure what's happening on the OPPO A9. They have the same processor, same megapixel count, but I guess the software processing on the camera app on the VIVO S1 PRO is just better. But when it comes to video, the OPPO A9 surprisingly was much more stable. Check that out. But then when it came to selfie, the OPPO A9 was nowhere near the VIVO S1 PRO in terms of sharpness and overall image quality. Well, that's because the selfie camera on the VIVO S1 PRO is a huge 32MP selfie camera. And as you can see right here, the colors on the video on the OPPO A9 2020 is just really washed out and looks really weird. The VIVO S1 PRO is just looking so good. So yeah, there was no competition in the cameras. The VIVO S1 PRO is an all-around much better phone. From the display, the cameras, and overall form factor, I think for me, the VIVO S1 PRO is the much better buy. And I forgot to tell you guys that the VIVO S1 PRO is actually priced a little bit different than the OPPO A9 2020. This is 15,999 pesos. That's a 9 at the end. This is 15,990 pesos. So this is 9 pesos more than this. But for 9 pesos more, you're gonna get a lot more better specs that you can ever hope for. And I highly recommend it if you were just going to pick between these two. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this comparison. Let me know guys in the comments below what you thought was the better phone. And I know the design is pretty much personal preference. And yeah, both phones do have their ups and downs, but I think the VIVO S1 PRO is just the better buy here, period. Up next on TechBeans, more comparisons to come. Just let me know which phones to compare in the comments below. And also don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any of my great content. This is Vince Domingo from TechBeans, and I'll see you on the next video.